stewardship is a big part of your role. Can you maybe explain what that is and any recent wins you've had on that front?
Absolutely. So first of all, you're right. As we think about ESG, we think about two pillars. So the integration of how do these issues help us decide which companies to invest in and what premium or not to put on them. So all those sorts of portfolio and stock selection types of issues. And then there's the stewardship on the other side, which is now that we have decided to take a holding in a particular company, how do we use our influence to encourage that company to do better on ESG issues? And so there are several levers that we have to do that. So one is voting and one is engagement. Those are the two primary ones. There's also advocacy that we can do on a system level. But to give you an example of our engagement work, so we have a company within our portfolio called American Electric Power. They're a US utility, rapidly decarbonizing from traditional fossil fuel-based energy towards renewables. And they're also quite they're making lots of investments in the transmission and distribution networks, which are obviously essential to meet the decarbonisation goals in terms of electrification and so forth. So we analysed the company as part of our integration component. How does this company actually perform? And one of the things that we realised was, whilst they have quite robust targets to actually reduce the emissions of their fleet, we thought those targets could be improved and tightened up. And so around the middle of last year, we engaged with the company to say that. So we said, we think you can go faster here. We think you can set more ambitious targets. And then they responded to us. They said, they sort of acknowledged our issue. They said that it's something that they look at annually. And the final step, which was the most pleasing step, was that later in the year, around October, I think, they announced new targets. So essentially they're going to try to get to net zero more quickly, so 5 years more quickly than they previously had announced. And then the other thing is that in this decade, which is obviously a very crucial decade in terms of the decarbonisation agenda and the efforts around decarbonising, they're actually going to go faster than they had previously announced. Now, obviously, we weren't the only voice here. There were probably many other investors trying to, who had wanted this company to move more quickly, but we were clearly a voice engaging directly with the company, and I think we had a positive influence in that case. So pleasing outcome, and I think one that's sort of mutually beneficial for us as investors, for the company, and obviously in terms of the emissions footprint of the company and therefore of the world. So it's a nice little outcome.